everyone, it's Amber Spotted Elk at the Paper Owl. Thank you so much for joining today. We have 3 fun and fresh DIYs in store. Also, don't forget, I am announcing the winners to our giveaway in my first Dollar Tree haul video, so check the description box for that. Also, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel out. And without further ado, let's get started.
Hey everyone, so we're starting out with this wreath today. I am recycling this wreath. You can see there's like some glue stuck on it and stuff, but I just got it at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to be putting this boxwood on here. Now this boxwood I got on a garland, and it was after spring or summer sale like last year, and I think I paid like $5 or $6 for it. It was really cheap, and I think I got 9 feet of this boxwood on the garland. It was really full. Oh, here's my cat, Mister. He is coming up to say hi. I didn't even see him behind me. He likes to be in the middle of everything. The attention seeker he is. So there he is. Hi, Mister. All right, so back to this boxwood. So it was a really good deal. Now, if I were to buy picks of this, I would have paid substantially more than that. So definitely keep an eye out for your end of season clearance sales, you guys. Like, you can get such good deals. I've seen wreaths like this at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, all of those stores, and they usually, the ones I've seen haven't been any cheaper than like $30. So I'm just sticking this in here. I'm not gluing it down. The wreath is kind of on its last leg. I don't know if I'll be able to use it after this, but if I decide to, I'll be able to just pull out that boxwood and reuse the wreath. And then I can reuse the boxwood as well. So you can see that I'm putting it all in one direction. If you start putting it in opposite directions, I'm showing you here, you're going to run into problems. So just make sure that you're putting it all in the same direction. Otherwise it's not going to work out very well. So I'm just filling it in all the way around. This is super easy, super quick. Like this, you do not have to have like a crafty bone in your body to be able to do this, you guys. Like, it is so easy. And to know that the stores charge just these astronomical amounts for something like this is just so crazy to me. So please, if you like things like this, please give it a shot, try it out. Like, I think you'll really be surprised with yourself. So I'm just filling in kind of all the bald spots here, and and just making sure that it's, in there secure. I kind of gave it a little shake and just really filling it out. And I probably used like, I don't know, maybe a quarter of that garland to do this wreath. So it's, I didn't use very much of it. And like I said, I'm not gluing these in, so I'll be able to reuse this boxwood if I want to. I know we're getting kind of into the fall season, but I like to have pops of green in my house, and so I like to keep some greenery up all year round. I just feel like it keeps your place fresh and more lively. I like to have live plants and all that sort of thing. So I definitely decorate for every season, but I do like to have those certain pops of green throughout my house all year round. So I'm just making it look nice and full, getting the last few pieces in here, and this has turned out so amazing, you guys. I'm just going to stick a piece of twine around there to hang it up, and that's it. Like, so simple, so easy. Next up, I'm going to be making these cactus trays, and so I'm using these 2 fairy garden trays from the Dollar Tree, and they're white. I'm painting them brown. I'm just kind of roughly painting them so that some of the white still pokes through. I do want it to look a little bit distressed, and so that is how I'm painting mine. You could paint this whatever color you want. You could use old photo frames to make this project as well. It has this kind of faux moss on the inside, and we'll be covering that up today too. So you can see I'm just finishing up painting the second one. And then there were a couple like little pink flowers on these. I am going to cover that up with a green just to make sure it kind of blends in a little bit more with our succulents. And then the succulents, I did get all of these from the Dollar Tree. and some of them were really big, a nice size, especially for the Dollar Tree. If you go to even like Walmart to buy succulents, you're going to end up paying like $2 to $3. So definitely a really, really good deal to find those at the Dollar Tree. So you can see I'm painting those flowers green now, just to have them blend in a little bit more. And like I said, if you want to keep them on there, or or as pink, or whatever color, then go ahead and do that. So next up, I'm going to take some reindeer moss from the Dollar Tree. Now I'm a little bit off camera here, but what I'm doing is I'm just cutting up the moss inside the bag. It kind of comes in like this, not a brick, but it kind of comes all like smooshed together. And so I'm just cutting it up and making sure that it's going to spread nicely over this faux moss that's in these trays. And so it just makes it a lot easier with any moss that you're dealing with. A lot of times it's nicer to kind of cut it up a little bit before. So I'm doing this in sections, laying down some of the reindeer moss, or laying down the hot glue to put the reindeer moss on, so that the hot glue doesn't dry up. And so again, you can see I do another little section there. And one thing that I do recommend is if you're putting down the moss, you're going to want to shake it off like that, because little bits of it are going to fall out, and I would rather shake them off and see what bare spots are left, versus having it all loose in there. I decide then that I want to put my succulents in, and then finish up the reindeer moss after. And I think that's a better strategy, just so you guys know. If you want to do all reindeer moss first, it should work fine that way. But I think this way it works just a little bit better. You know exactly where you need your reindeer moss. So you can see I'm gluing down my succulents. I have them all placed where I want them. I go in first with the hot glue, and then I will go back in with super glue, just to give it that extra hold. I don't want these falling out of the trays at all. So, and then I'm letting that dry. I'm doing the second one. And what I'll do is I'll go, like I said, go back in those crevices and get the reindeer moss in there. And now that the succulents are in there, one thing that I do recommend is using something to help you get it in there. Like, I used my scissors to kind of pat down the reindeer moss to help it stick to that glue when it was, a smaller crevice, so that I wasn't pulling on my succulents a whole lot. I didn't want to pull those up. So, if you use a pen or a pencil or whatever to kind of help pat that reindeer moss down. So you can see now I'm going in with that super glue, and I have such a fear of my projects like falling apart, you guys. So I always put like a super glue or an E6000, just to give it a little bit of extra hold, because I would hate to be so proud of something and then someone like picks it up or touches it and it like starts falling apart. It's just like this horrible fear I have. So if you're the same way, definitely comment below and let me know. So now I'm going back in and filling in those crevices with the reindeer moss, and just putting the hot glue down, and then putting the little bits of reindeer moss down. And then I'm going to do the same thing where I kind of shake it out a little bit to make sure all those little bits are coming off. And then I think I let them dry for a minute after I put the super glue on. So I think that was what was happening there. So, and I think I'm going to show you here that I shake it out. Yep. So you can see all those little bits that came out. And then I will go back and see if there are any little bald spots left, just to make sure I don't need to go back in, because with the reindeer moss, you're never quite sure like what sticks to the hot glue or not. Like you're hoping most of it does, and most of it does, but some of it does fall off, and then it can leave a bald spot. So just check it over and make sure that there aren't any other little bald spots in there. And I had done the same thing with this one, giving it a little shake, making sure there aren't any little bald spots, and they're not. They're looking good. I'm super excited about these, you guys. So super cute. I absolutely love these. And you can pair them together or separate, or, make more than two instead of three, however you want. But to find the succulents for $1 and this tray for $1, the reindeer moss was $1, like such a good deal. I was so happy to find those succulents. Like they're a really good size. All right, this next one coming up, I think is my favorite one. So I found this sign at Walmart for $1.50 just recently. We're going to be painting it with Waverly White chalk paint. I'm showing you the antique wax here, but I actually end up going to the ink color in Waverly, and then I've got a little bit more of that boxwood, and then some burlap as well that we'll be using, and then this little tray from the Dollar Tree as well. So I think this sign was a Pioneer Woman sign actually, that was clearance out to $1.50. You can see there, which is great. I mean, that's amazing. Super good deal. So I'm just taking that sticker off. I'm going to paint this whole thing in that Waverly White chalk paint. And again, this is a sign that is being clearanced out for after summer. So like I said, keep an eye out for those after season sales. You can find such good deals, such good deals. So I'm just painting this all white, and I end up having to do 2 coats to get it fully covered. I found another sign as well that you'll see in an upcoming video when I picked this one out, and I couldn't believe I got it for the price that I did. So definitely stay tuned to see that sign as well. So I'm drying this first coat because I do not like to wait for paint to dry. So I'm using my heat gun tool. I definitely recommend getting one of those. If you don't have one, if you have a blow dryer at home, that works just as well. So getting my second coat on here, making sure that none of that red shows through. I really like the shape of this sign. It's really unique as well, which I think, just I like those unique pieces that, not everyone is going to have. So I'm making sure all the sides are painted as well. You want to make sure you have good coverage there. And it is turning out so great. I love the Waverly White chalk paint. It gives such good coverage. So I'm just drying that second coat now. And then this is where I go on with the antique wax. And I think I was hoping it would kind of give like a wood appearance on that outer rim, but it just was not turning out how I wanted it to. It just did not. I don't know, I just was not feeling it. So I attempted to do this color, and then I tried wiping it off to see if that maybe would help a little bit, and it did not. So I end up going over it with the Waverly ink, color and ink, so which is basically black, and go around the edge there. And I like this much better. So you can see that is, I think looks just 100 times better. So I'm taking this basket, and I am going to cover it with the burlap. Now one edge of it, one long edge of it is going to be stuck to our sign, so you don't want the burlap to go through the whole basket, if that makes sense. You can see that back edge I don't cover with the burlap, because I want that whole edge to have a nice good adherence to our sign. And you can see I'm putting the hot glue on the basket. I don't want to put it on the burlap and then lay it down on the basket and having it seep all over the place. So I recommend putting the hot glue on the basket and then adhering the burlap to that. It's just going to make it a little bit more clean, so you don't have hot glue kind of oozing out everywhere. I mean, you can see it still gets out a little bit as I'm cleaning it up there. So just gluing that down to the bottom, and then the sides and the front of the basket, leaving the very long back end open. And I'm just kind of cleaning that up a little bit, getting it folded over on the edge. You're really not going to be able to see a whole lot of this burlap, but I wanted something for the floral arrangement to kind of stick into, and I didn't want the floral picks to be sticking through the wires in that basket, so it definitely needed some sort of base inside of there. I mean, you could probably stick like foam core board, or even paper probably, if you wanted to, if you don't have any of this burlap, or other color ribbon if you have that, just to give it something to hold on to as far as the floral arrangement that's going to go inside. So you know, the sky is kind of the limit there. So I'm just making sure these kind of have some nice clean edging. And I think I got this roll of burlap at Walmart like a year or two ago on clearance for like $1.50. And I've used it for a few different projects and I still have a good amount left. So like I can't stress enough to look at your after season sales. It's just, you can get such good deals on like good products too. So all right, so we're cleaning that up and then we're going to attach it to our sign. And like I said, that back side that we left open is how we're going to attach it to the sign. So I'm just making sure that's nice and secure, cleaning up my glue strings. And here we go. I'm laying this out. I'm making, oh, so I don't attach it right away. Sorry. Oh, I'm putting my decal down. I decide that I didn't want the basket in my way while I'm putting the decal down. So I just made this decal with my Cricut. And you guys, I've had my Cricut for years. I've done paper crafting for years, and that's why I have my Cricut. And so if you don't have a Cricut, don't feel like you need to go out and buy one to do any sort of projects. Like there's so many stencils available online. There's so many printables available online for free. So don't feel like you need a Cricut to do any of these projects. You can use so many other avenues and make it look just as good. But I figure I have a Cricut and I'll use what I have. If you know, that's why I have it. So now I'm placing my basket. I wanted to make sure my decal was high enough up that my floral arrangement wasn't going to be covering it up. So I put it down and it actually was a little bit crooked, you guys. So I end up tearing it up right away and just making sure that I realign it. So you can see that some of the paint peeled off there, which is fine. I figured that the floral arrangement is going to cover that up. So I'm not worrying about going back in and painting it. So for some reason, if the floral arrangement doesn't cover it up, I can always kind of go back in there and paint over those chips a little bit. But I'm just taking this boxwood, I'm cutting it down a little bit because it was a little bit long, and then placing those on the sides. Again, I love these pops of green in my house. I am putting these kind of more fall sunflowers in here. They have like a little hint of burlap in the flower as well, which I absolutely love. And so I'm just kind of playing with the arrangement, making sure I like how it looks. I actually glue kind of these sunflowers down a little bit so that they're open and you can see them a little bit better, but not using a whole lot of glue so that it can still be reusable if I want. So now here is our final flower sign. It turned out so amazing. I absolutely love it. I love the decal. I love the shape of the sign. It just turned out so gorgeous, and you can change out those florals for any time of year. Here are our succulent trays. I absolutely love these as well for that fresh pop of green. And then lastly, our wreath. I think this turned out so amazing for just a few dollars. It really rivals what you see in the store. So thank you so much. Let me know which one was your favorite. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much, you guys. Happy crafting.